ॐ सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। हरि ओम तत्सत्। हरि ओम तत्सत्। हरि ओम तत्सत्। So Ashtavakra Gita, 18th chapter, we have come up to shloka number 59. 18वें प्रकरण के 59 श्लोक तक हम पढ़े हुए हैं. So we shall start from shloka number 59. सुखमास्ते सुखम शेते सुखम आयाति याति च सुखम वक्ति सुखम भुंक्ते व्यवहारेपि शांतधीः. So how शांतधीः? One who is in complete silence, जिसका मन पूर्ण रूप से शांत हो चुका है, वो शांतधीः. He is totally quiet. That means he is enlightened being. He has no, actually Shantadhi is a person who is so peaceful as if he had no mind at all. Okay. And such a person, in all the actions, he will be always happy. Sukham aste, sukham shete, sukham yati, sukham ayati yati cha. So he remains happy, he even sleeps very happily, he comes happily, he goes happily. Sukham vakti, whenever he speaks, total happiness in his speech. Sukham bhumte, whatever food may be there. And in one of the slokas we read, even the stale food, even the putrefied food, he will be very happily eating it. Okay. Sukham bhumte, vyavaharepi shanti, in all the vyavaharas, in all the actions. So one attaining to mental peace, shantadhihi, is always happy in practical life. While sitting, while sleeping, while coming, going, while speaking, while eating. So that means his peace is not at all disturbed by external situation. बाह्य परिस्थिति के अनुसार उसकी शांति ढलती नहीं है. That is the difference, between Shantadhi, a man of realization, and other people. Our peace of mind goes almost every moment. That is what we have to understand. Something happened, some big noise, our peace goes. Some little bit of, say, struggle or quarrel, and our peace goes. Even if we listen to the news, the peace goes. So we are not able to remain in peace because external situation is continuously disturbing our peace. While as far as the enlightened being is concerned, whatever may happen in the external world, his peace is not at all disturbed. He is ever happy. कुछ भी हो जाने से वो हमेशा ही आनंद में रहता है, क्योंकि वो जगत में रहता ही नहीं है. He is आत्मस्थित. He is in the bliss of the self, and therefore nothing external really affects him. We will go to 60. स्वभावद्यस्य नैवार्तिर् लोकवद् व्यवहारिणः महारुद इव अक्षोभ्यो गतक्लेशो सुशोभते. So स्वभावस्य न इव arti. Arti means distress. So in all, he is never distressed at all. Okay. Engage in worldly action, he never faces any distress. Arti means distress. Because he is Maharuda. Maharuda means he is like a vast lake. Vast lake of silence, you can say. So in a vast lake, there may be some ripple here and there, but that really doesn't disturb the vastness of the lake at all. So that is what he is called as Maharuda. Iva akshobhyo. he doesn't have any shobha. He doesn't have any kind of disturbance, mental disturbance or sorrow. Shobha. Gata klesho shushobhate. Because he is उनके क्लेश सदा के लिए मिट गए हैं। शांत चित्त में उनके क्लेश हमेशा के लिए मिट गए हैं और उनकी ज्ञान की आभा से वो सुशोभित रहता है। सुशोभते, इज ऑलवेज effulgent with his great knowledge. So that is what. So these are all the. This is all the description of the enlightened being which is going on. Nothing happens to him. So we go to 61. निवृत्तिरपि मूढ़स्य प्रवृत्तिर उपजायते प्रवृत्तिरापि धीरस्य निवृत्ति फलदायिनी. So difference between common man, the ordinary person, and the enlightened being. Very beautifully, in most simple thing, he has told. Nivruttirapi moodhasya pravrittir upajayate. Nivrutti, withdrawal. Nivrutti means withdrawal in short. If a fool withdraws, his withdrawal leads to lot of action outside. अगर मूढ़ है, मूर्ख, अगर उसको अगर वो निवृत्त हो जाता है, उसके निवृत्ति के वजह से बहुत सारी प्रवृत्तियां जागती है बाहर. प्रवृत्तिरपि धीरस्य निवृत्ति फलदायिनी. लेकिन जो धीर है, द एनलाइटन वन, the realized soul, his pravrutti creates nivrutti in others. Pravruttirapi dhirasya nivrutti phala bhagini. It leads to निवृत्ति का फल प्राप्त होता है उस धीर को जो प्रवृत्ति रूप बन चुका है. Now what is he actually saying? That common person, even his withdrawal leads to lot of action outside. This is a usual experience which we have in our own house. Suppose if the father in the house is angry with something because nobody is listening to him, he is being insulted, then suddenly he withdraws. He keeps quiet. I don't want to do anything. खाना खाने के लिए आया, नहीं मुझे भूख नहीं है. Everything withdrawn. And his withdrawal creates so much of problem for everybody. क्या हो गया बाबूजी को, अभी क्या करे, उनको कैसे मनाए. Wife, the son, और अगर पोते होंगे तो पोते. Everybody is worried about his silence, about his निवृत्ति. अगर ऐसा ही even son also sometimes. The son wants something and it doesn't happen. बोलता है अभी मुझे कुछ नहीं, बस. आई एम नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन एनीथिंग. अरे खाना खाने आओ, मुझे भूख नहीं है. अरे टीवी देखने आओ, मुझे देखना ही नहीं है. निवृत्ति. नाउ सच काइंड ऑफ निवृत्ति लीड्स टू लॉट ऑफ एक्शन आउटसाइड. अभी कैसा उसको मनाएंगे, क्या हो गया उसको, कुछ बोल भी नहीं रहा है, क्या हुआ पूछा तो कुछ बोलता नहीं है. सो दैट इज हाउ these are called moodhas, ordinary people. When they withdraw, their withdrawal leads to lot of pravrutti outside in the other's mind and in their mind also. By withdrawing, by keeping quiet, are they really quiet? Actually they are burning inside. उसने ऐसा कहा, ऐसा कभी नहीं कहना चाहिए था. क्या समझते हैं ये लोग मेरे बारे में, अभी मैं मुंह ही नहीं खोलता, जो करना है करो, मुझे क्या है. That means inside also lot of pravrutti is going on. Outside also it leads to pravrutti. That is what he is saying. Nivruttirapi moodhasya pravrutti upajayate pravruttirapi धीरस्य निवृत्ति फलदायिनी. लेकिन जो धीर होता है, जो एनलाइटेंड पर्सन, जो साधु संत होता है, उसकी प्रवृत्ति निवृत्ति का फल देने वाली होती है. जैसे तुम साधु के पास आओ, वो कुछ ध्यान सिखाएगा, वो योग सिखाएगा, वो कुछ धर्म की बात करेगा, ये तो प्रवृत्ति है. यस, दे आर स्प्रेडिंग They are teaching the scriptures to others. They are teaching the way of life to others. They are teaching how to go about meditation and so on and so forth. This is प्रवृत्ति. लेकिन ये जो उनकी प्रवृत्ति होती है निवृत्ति फलदायिनी, it leads people towards withdrawal from the world. Okay, so that is the difference between the wise person and very beautifully brought about by उनकी प्रवृत्ति लोगों को निवृत्ति की ओर जाने वाली होती है, निवृत्ति फलदायिनी. वेरी ब्यूटीफुली टोल्ड इन दिस. क्योंकि वो जो ज्ञानी होता है वो योग की बात सिखाता है, धारणा ध्यान समाधि सिखाता है, पाप पुण्य के विषय में चर्चा करता है, कर्म सिद्धांत के बारे में बताता है, वो सत्संग करता है. सो दैट इज हाउ पीपल आर ड्रॉन टुवर्ड्स द निवृत्ति धर्म बाय देयर एक्शन. सो देयर एक्शन लीड्स टू विड्रॉवल, निवृत्ति फलदायिनी. वी गो टू द नेक्स्ट 62. परिग्रहेषु वैराग्यम प्रायो मूढ़स्य दृश्यते देहे विगलित आशस्य क्व राग क्व विरागतः. So a fool often practices detachment. परिग्रहेषु वैराग्यम प्रायो मूढ़स्य दृश्यते. मूढ़ अपरिग्रह की साधना में लगा रहता है. मूढ़ आदमी सोचता है कि हाँ मुझे तो योग करना है ना, तो मुझे ये छोड़ देना चाहिए, वो छोड़ देना चाहिए, मेरे पास ये है वो छोड़ देना चाहिए, ये त्याग करना चाहिए, वो त्याग करना चाहिए. सो परिग्रहेषु वैराग्यम प्रायो मूढ़स्य दृश्यते. ए फूल ऑफन प्रैक्टिसेस डिटैचमेंट फ्रॉम ऑल possession. परिग्रह means all possessions. So he thinks that this is because of the possessions only I am not able to go forward in spiritual life. So I have to really leave it. He may not be able to leave it, but at least things. I have to leave my house. I have to leave my attachment to the children. I have to leave the attachment to money and so on and so forth. That is what he is continuously thinking. Dehe vigalita asasya, but one who has gone beyond the body, जिसका देहाभिमान ही खत्म हो गया. Because all this, if you are with the body, you have all possessions. Greatest possession which we have is our own body. Because the body is there, all other things are coming. The senses are in the body, the mind is in the body, everything is in the body. Okay. So जिसका देहाभिमान ही खत्म हो गया, क्व रागः क्व विरागतः, उसके लिए what is attachment and what is detachment for him. So what is the key word which is here is देहाभिमान नष्ट होना. ज्ञानी देहाभिमान नष्ट होने से आसक्ति और वैराग्य इन दोनों विषयों के परे चला जाता है. And so long as you are in the body, so long as the greatest possession is the body-mind complex itself, so long as you are attached to the body-mind complex, you may think that you want to renounce this, you want to renounce that, you will not be able to do anything. जिसका देहाभिमान ही चला गया, उसके लिए अभी कैसा त्याग और कैसा विरागता. He is already free. He is already enjoying freedom. We go to 63. भावना भावनासक्ता दृष्टि मूढ़स्य सर्वदा भाव्य भावनतया सातु स्वरसस्या दृष्टि रूपिणी. So bhavana, abhavana, asakta. So a fool always is concerned about thinking and non-thinking. Bhavana, thinking. Abhavana, non-thinking. So a common person, he is concerned with thinking and non-thinking. If he is thinking, he says, oh, I should go to the non-thinking stage. I am thinking, my thoughts are not good. My thoughts are sinful thoughts. My thoughts are virtual thoughts. So he is thinking and then he is also thinking of going to a state of non-thinking. So he is attached to both thinking and non-thinking. Bhavana, bhava, asakta. A fool is always concerned about thinking and non-thinking phase of mind. Bhavya bhavanaya satu swastha. Swastha. Swastha means one who is established in himself. Swastha means atmasthita. An enlightened being, though engaged in thinking, is really not thinking at all because he is established in the self. वो स्वस्थ है, वो आत्मस्थित है. He is established in the self, and that is why even though he is thinking, he is not thinking. Even though he may be thinking, he is not thinking. So what is told in this is, it is not important whether one is thinking or not thinking. It is not important whether one is thinking or not thinking. A man established in the self is neither attached to thinking nor attached to non-thinking. He is only witnessing the phases of thinking and non-thinking. मतलब चित्तवृत्ति से संलग्न होना ये सर्वसाधारण मनुष्य का स्वभाव है. What is thinking? Thinking means getting attached to chitta vrittis, paying cognizance to chitta vrittis, and whatever comes in the chitta, we get attached to it. This is my thought, this is my emotion, this is my anger, this is my jealousy. That means we are getting attached to all sorts of chitta vrittis. चित्त वृत्ति को देखना ये असंग है. What he is saying is that if you are witnessing the mind, if you are witnessing the waves of the mind, then you don't have any sangha at all. So detached person is a witness to his own chitta vrittis. That is what is told in this particular verse. We go to the next verse, 64 now. सर्वारंभेषु निष्कामो यश्चरेत बालवत मुनि नत लेपस्तस्य शुद्धस्य क्रियमाणे अपि कर्मणि. सर्वारंभेषु निष्कामो. तो जो मुनि बालवत मुनि, one who is totally silent, one who has attained to that eternal silence, is known as मुनि. मुनि कौन है? जो हमेशा शांत रहता है, जो मौन को प्राप्त हुआ है, उसको मुनि कहते हैं. और वो मुनि कैसा होता है? बालवत. He is as innocent as a child. You know, the child, even if he is doing something, he is not attached to that thing at all. You know, child is so innocent. That is why even in the court of law, if the child has committed some sort of you can say sin or some type of crime without knowing, he is not held, even in the court of law, he is not held guilty. I know when we were in US, there was one news that one 4-year-old son in US, you know, the guns are available like the crackers. We can go and purchase the cracker in our market. Like that, anybody can go and purchase guns. Gun culture, very typical to US. So one father had got a gun and he was just, because it was new, he was just seeing it and all that. He loaded it. And when he was just little away, his son came, 4 years old son only, you know. And then he thought that this is a very beautiful new toy or something like that. He was playing with that toy. While playing, by chance, he pushed the trigger and the bullet went, and actually his father was killed. Accidentally killed. Accidentally killed. But the court regarded the boy as not guilty, and he was not guilty. He had no business. He had no intention at all. He was not knowing at all what will the effect of this. It was a tie. So a child, whatever he does not have any purpose in doing it. Like that Muni also, unintentionally he will be acting. That is why it is called Balavat Muni. यश्चरेत बाधवत पुण्य, उनकी जो शारीरिक सारी क्रियाएं होती है वो लाइक इनोसेंट चाइल्ड. तो जो मुनि बालक जैसा सर्व कर्म निष्काम भाव से शुरू करता है, सर्वारंभेषु निष्कामो, he doesn't start action with any purpose, while all our action with some purpose or the other. We do not act without purpose, while the enlightened being never acts with any purpose. Sarvarambeshu nishkamo. There is no purpose in his action at all. And therefore, न लेपस्तस्य शुद्धस्य क्रियमाणेपि कर्मणि. न लेप, इसलिए उसको कर्म के लेप उसके ऊपर नहीं चढ़ते. So in Jainism they explain this very beautifully. Jainism says, Jainism talks about karma pudgal. You know, the karmas according to them are like the atomic particles of karma. They are called as karma pudgal. And wherever we do actions, those karma pudgals are created. And they stick to your body, to your soul, and they cover up the soul. And they say, just as sun is covered with the cloud, and therefore we are not able to see the sun, because of these karma pudgals which are covering the Atman, we do not know Atman, which is Ananta Shakti, Ananta Virya, Ananta Jnana. Atman is actually with infinite knowledge, with infinite bliss, with infinite power. But because of the covering of the karma pudgals, we are not able, they are called कर्म के लेप लग जाते हैं और उसके लिए हम आत्म स्थिति में नहीं होते हैं. We are not able to see the Atman. We have forgotten ourselves because of this kriyamanani karmani. Kriyamana karma means, so karmas are of three types, Sanchita karmas, which are accumulated actions from one birth to another birth, so many births, all the karmas which we have accumulated so far, they are known as Sanchita karma. Prarabdha karma, they are the karmas which we are going to finish in this particular life. Out the portion of Sanchita karma which will be finished in this particular life is known as Prarabdha karma. And Kriyamana karma means actually the karmas which we are doing right now. Right now I am speaking. This is the Kriyamana karma. Right now you are listening. This is Kriyamana karma. Okay. Now this Kriyamana karma also creates कर्म पुद्गल्स और लेप, कर्म के लेप तैयार हो जाते हैं, कवरिंग तैयार हो जाता है. नॉट फॉर ए पर्सन who is not having any desire. If the karma is not done with any desire, सर्वारंभेषु निष्कामो, अगर निष्काम कर्म करते हैं तो निष्काम कर्म के लेप नहीं चढ़ जाते हैं. So that is what is told. So all the actions which are done by enlightened beings, they are nishkama karma. They don't have even this desire that people will get enlightened. I want to help the people. I want to remove the misery from the world. Even those things are not in their mind. वो यदृच्छया से ही काम करते हैं. हम ऐसा कह सकते हैं, we can use it is, we cannot use those words when we are discussing अष्टावक्र गीता, but in the common parlance, ईश्वर उनके द्वारा कर्म कर लेता है. ईश्वर की शक्ति ही उनके द्वारा कर्म कराती है. They are not doing any action. So that is what. Now one more thing which I would like to point out here is Bhagavad Gita, when talking about Nishkama Karma, Bhagavad Gita is saying that Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. फल का त्याग, कर्म फल का त्याग करो. यहाँ अष्टावक्र is bringing a more subtle point ही इज टेलिंग कर्म का बीज ही मत बो दो. डोंट सो द सीड्स ऑफ एक्शन एट ऑल. If you initiate action with nishkama, if you begin action without any desire, then you are not sowing the seeds of action only. So that is the difference between not expecting the fruit of action. After doing the thing, you are renouncing the fruit of action. That is Bhagavad Gita's way. Not sowing the seeds of karma phala is the Ashtavakara's way. So that is the slight difference which you do not sow the seeds so that there will not be fruits of the action at all. So that is why Nishkama Karma has been told here. Now we go to the next shloka number 65. सएव धन्य आत्मज्ञ सर्वभावेषु यः समः पश्यन् शृण्वन् स्पृशन् जिघ्रन् अश्नन् निस्तर्ष manasa. So nistarsha manasa is the main keyword here. Nistarsha manasa. Nistarsha manasa means whose mind is without any thirst. Same. You are not doing action in order to satisfy your thirst. Okay, that means desireless. What is that thirst? It is the desire for expectation of fruit. So one who is not having thirst at all, one who has, that is called nistarsha manasa. Okay, so sa eva dhanya atmadnya, वो जो आत्मज्ञ होता है, वन हु द नोअर ऑफ द सेल्फ, वन जिसको आत्मबोध हो चुका है, वो आत्मज्ञ आत्मज्ञ है. सर्वभावेषु यस समः, he is the same in all sorts of experiences. He doesn't change from experience to experience. Doesn't change the state of his mind. You can see the subtle difference. Our mind goes on changing depending upon experience which we get. If we come across happy experience, we are happy. If we come across sad experience, we are sad. If it is all boring, we are bored. So the mental state depends upon the type of experience which we get. Okay. But nistarsha manasa, one who has no thirst, one who desires, the experience itself will not change his mental state. That is the thing. Sarva bhaveshu yassama. In every experience, he is seeing Brahman only. That is what Kenopanishad, That is why I love that particular verse in Kenopanishad. Pratibodha vishayam matam amrutatvam hi vindate. Very beautiful. That verse from Kenopanishad is essence of all the Upanishads. It is essence of this actually Ashtavakra Gita as well. Pratibodha vishayam matam. Pratibodha vishayam. Bodham bodham pratibodham. Every experience is pointing towards amrutatvam hi vindate. Every experience, any experience. हमारी जो अनुभूतियां है, हर एक अनुभूति असल में अमृतत्व की ओर ही निर्देशित कर रही है. Because it is because of the conscious. If we go, what the key which is given by the Upanishad is go from experience to experiencer. We are only bothered about the experience. What we are concerned with is the experience. This is good experience, this is bad experience, happy experience, sad experience, bore experience. So we are concerned with the experience. हम अनुभूति के पीछे पड़े हुए हैं. ये अच्छी अनुभूति है, ये आध्यात्मिक अनुभूति है, ये बहुत दुखकारक अनुभूति है, सुखकारक अनुभूति है. तो हमारा जीवन पूरा अनुभूतियों की चर्चा करने में जाता है. हम उसके पास नहीं जाते जो अनुभूति ले रहा है. We do not think about the experiences because all the experience is because of the awareness. I become aware of something and then I start thinking what type of awareness. whether it is giving me good feeling, bad feeling, but I do not go to the source of awareness itself. This is what Atmanya means. Atmanya means he is established in the Atman, he is with the self, and therefore he is having that samatva in all kinds of experiences. Samatvam yoga uchyate. That is what is said in Bhagavad Gita as well. So very beautifully said in this particular shloka. And we go to 66 now. Shloka number 66. क्व संसारः क्व च आभासः क्व साध्यं क्व च साधनम् आकाशस्यैव धीरस्य निर्विकल्पस्य सर्वदा. So these are all again and again actually Ashtavakra is driving towards the same thing, that is the characteristics of enlightened being. One who, if you are established in the self, then that will be your, he's saying you can't go there by doing something with some sort of effort. So, kva samsaraha, kva cha abhasaha. For us, we see samsara and I say that I have to go beyond samsara. Samsara, the word, because I'm experiencing the word and very soon I become tired of the word. I have stresses and strains in the world, and I think, what is this life? And I have to withdraw from the world. Then I read the text, I read Vedanta, and I read there the world is mithya, the world is only abhasa, the world is an illusion. So, kva samsara, kva cha abhasa, kva sadhyam, kva cha sadhanam. Then I start thinking that I have to really realize the self. So what is my goal? Mukti is my goal. Liberation is my goal. I want to get liberated. And for that, what is the way to get liberated? Sadhanam. Then I start looking for the way towards liberation. Then it may be sadhana chatushtaya, viveka vairagya, shata sampata, mumukshutva. So I start going by that word. Or maybe if I am interested in yoga, ashtanga yoga, yama niyama, asana pranayama, pratyahara dharana, dhyana samadhi, that is the way which has been told. That is sadhanam. Now all this is for a person who is in bondage, who has not realized the self. Now Ashtavakra very bluntly tells that for the one who has reached that stage, all these things do not matter. Akashasyaiva dhirasya. He has become infinite consciousness, like the sky or like the ether, like the space. निर्विकल्पस्य सर्वदा. वो अगर निर्विकल्प समाधि में हमेशा है, अगर उसकी चेतना अनंत चेतना हुई है आकाश जैसी, तो उसके लिए कहाँ संसार है, कहाँ संसार का आभास है, कहाँ संसार से मुक्त होने की भाषा है, कहाँ संसार से मुक्त होने की साधना है. All this becomes irrelevant for a person who has reached the goal. आकाश जैसी अनंत चेतना में सर्वकाल स्थित ज्ञानी के लिए कहाँ जगत है, कहाँ ये आभासात्मक जगत है, मिथ्या जगत है, कहाँ मुक्ति का मार्ग है, कहाँ मुक्ति है. So now we are learning all these many of these slokas which we have learned. One may really start thinking that all that we have learned so far is to be thrown out, or what. An ordinary person should not start thinking that all spiritual practices are useless and nothing is to be done, and that is what we may come to know. But we should always remember, as we are reminded of, this is a dialogue between Rishi Ashtavakra, who is already enlightened being, and Janaka, who is almost enlightened only. You can say he is on the threshold of enlightenment, or in the second chapter we saw, he describes enlightenment. So it is a dialogue between two enlightened beings. So they are not saying that we should not practice Yama Niyama Asana Pranayam or Sadhana Chatushtaya, which has been told by Shankaracharya, or what has been told in 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Daivasura Sampata, or all that. All that may be necessary for us in the beginning, but really speaking, what he is telling is that Ashtavakra is a great seer, and he has already reached on the top. He is looking at us from the top of the Everest, and therefore his language appears to us very strange and sometimes confusing also. Maybe confusing to many people. And certainly he is not telling us not to go for any practices, or not to do meditation, or not to whatever we are doing by way of sadhana, not to have belief in God, or not to do any worship, nothing like that, nothing like that. But he is telling us about the ultimate state of an enlightened being. So that is what we have seen. So for a man of enlightenment, the world doesn't exist at all. And if the world is not existing, where is the question of distress from the world, or problems of the world, or attachment? And world doesn't mean only the external world which we are seeing, but even he says your body, your mind, your senses, this is your own inner world. This is your inner world. So he, according to his point of view, there is neither external world nor inner world. And you should free from both these worlds. Okay. And moreover, what he says is, it is only due to adhyasa, only due to misunderstanding, that you feel that you are bound. Your Atman is ever free. So in Vedanta, there is no question of attaining freedom for action. आत्मा हमेशा मुक्त होने के कारण आत्म मुक्ति का प्रयास, अष्टावक्र कहते हैं, it is foolish to think that you have to have some sort of efforts in order to free yourself, because yourself is already free. Only you have to recognize it. This is the subtle thing which Ashtavakra is hammering at all times. You are already free. You are not seeing it. You are not opening your eyes and seeing that you are already free. It is not that you are bound and you want freedom, and therefore you are struggling for freedom, and finally you become free by practicing something. No. He says you are already free. Only thing here, you have to recognize your freedom. Open your eyes and see that you are free. So that is the difference in the type of philosophy which we are learning. So, so we go to 67 now. सजयति अर्थ संन्यासी पूर्ण स्वरस विग्रह अकृत्रिमो अनवच्छिन्ने समाधिर यस्य वर्तते. So that is what he says. He says victory to him who is already free. Okay, सजयस्य, जय हो उसकी जिसने अर्थ को त्याग कर दिया. अर्थ literally means some sort of wealth or some sort of possession. It is called as artha. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. उसमें हम अर्थ किसको बोलते हैं? कि something which we would like to have, something which we would like to possess, something to which we stick to. Okay, artha sannyasi, who has given up everything, all possessions. All possessions means Even the idea that I am possessing the body, even the idea that I am possessing, these are also my possessions. So Artha Sannyasi is the one who has given up all kinds of possessions. Artha Sannyasi. Purna Swarasa Vigraha. Swarasa Vigraha. He is happy within himself. Swarasa. He is establishing his own bliss. Akrutrimo. He is not bringing about that blissful state with some sadhana or some akrutrimo, naturally, spontaneously. He is in a natural state of bliss. अकृत्रिम उसके आनंद में कोई कृत्रिमता नहीं है. अनवच्छिन्नो. It is continuous peace without any break. He is always blissful, naturally blissful, spontaneously blissful. So such a person, samadhi tasya vartate. Now he is in samadhi, which is called as sahaja samadhi. So such a jnani is in sahaja samadhi. Sahaja samadhi means naturally, spontaneously, at all times, without any break. He is always in samadhi. Such a samadhi is known as sahaja samadhi. Samadhir yasya vartate. So, victory to him who has renounced everything, who is a symbol of bliss within. Purna Swarasa Vigraha. Vigraha means symbol. He symbolizes happiness itself. He is the symbol of the bliss itself of Atman. And who is in a spontaneous state of samadhi forever. He is in Nirvikalpa Samadhi. He is in Sahaja Samadhi. Sahaja. Sahaja means spontaneous. He is not, it is not Samadhi which has come with some effort or something. Effortless, natural, spontaneous. So आत्मबोध से प्राप्त हुई समाधि सहज समाधि का वर्णन इस श्लोक में किया गया है. So very beautifully he has told about this. We go to the next sloka, number 68. बहुनात्र किमुक्तेन ज्ञात तत्वो महाशयः भोग मोक्ष निराकांक्षी सदा सर्वत्र नीरसः. So he said that now I have described to you in so many words about the enlightened person, जो मुक्त हो चुका है, जो ज्ञानी है, उसका वर्णन मैं करते जा रहा हूं. लेकिन क्या उसका वर्णन करे? बहुना अत्र किमुक्तेन. What more can be said about that great soul? Words fail to describe the state of the enlightened being. बहुना अत्र किमुक्तेन ज्ञात तत्व महाशया. Mahashaya, one who is enlightened one, is called as Mahashaya. One who is already enlightened. What can I say? What more can be said about the great soul? The realized soul is neither interested in mundane pleasures, nor in liberation, nor he is free from desires, nor he is free from desires in all places at all times. Bhoga moksha nirakankshi. He is not interested in bhoga. He is not interested in moksha. He is not interested in enjoying life at all anymore. There is no bhoga. Why? Because he is such a bliss that why he will need any other thing. He is at the crest of the bliss. जो आत्मस्थित है वो इतने महान आनंद में है कि वो आनंद के खोज में नहीं है, किसी भोग के खोज नहीं है. भोग के खोज में कौन होता है? जिसको कुछ थोड़ा बहुत आनंद पाना है वो भोग के पीछे दौड़ता है. मोक्ष के पीछे कौन जाता है? जो बंधन में है वो मोक्ष के पीछे जाएगा. भोग मोक्ष निराकांक्षी, उसको न भोग की आकांक्षा है, न मोक्ष की आकांक्षा है. He is not even having that mumukshutva. He has given up mumukshutva. Why? Because he is not in bondage at all. One who is in bondage, which will have mumukshutva, means intense desire for liberation, is known as mumukshutva. मोक्ष की तीव्र इच्छा, उसको मुमुक्षुत्व कहते हैं. लेकिन वो मोक्ष में स्थित है, तो उसमें मुमुक्षुत्व कैसा आएगा? दैट इज व्हाई नाइदर ही हैज द डिजायर फॉर भोग nor he has desire for liberation. Sada sarvatra nirasaha. Nirasaha. He is not taking interest. He is disinterested in everything. Nirasa means that means he is not a boring person. नीरसा, एकदम नीरस आदमी है. क्या यार आदमी है ये? कोई भी ऐसा भी, वन हु इज वेरी डल एंड वो भी आदमी नीरस होता है. हमको तो कुछ भी चीज में, अरे सिनेमा को नहीं, मैं नहीं आता हूँ. अच्छा खाना को नहीं, मुझे नहीं चाहिए. नीरस. दैट मीन्स he doesn't have any. Now he is disinterested because he has everything. Because he is in the crest of happiness, he is disinterested in the world, disinterested in everything around. That is how he has become nirasaha. So bahuna atra kimtena, and really speaking, words fail to describe him. उसके बारे में ineffability is a characteristic of enlightened person. अनिर्वचनीयता, उसकी जो स्थिति है वो अनिर्वचनीय है, शब्दों के परे है, उसका वर्णन ही नहीं किया जा सकता. सो दैट इज व्हाट ही इज सेइंग. सो जीवन मुक्त की स्थिति अनिर्वचनीय होती है. सदा सर्वकाल सभी चीजों में वो नीरस होता है. ही इज डिसइंटरेस्टेड इन एवरीथिंग. न केवल भोगेच्छा उसके भीतर में प्रकट होती है, लेकिन मुमुक्षुत्व भी उसके भीतर प्रकट नहीं होता. सो दिस इज वेरी वंडरफुल स्टेट. That is the highest state of consciousness he is describing. We go to 69. महदादि जगद्वैतम नाम मात्र विजृंभतम विहाय शुद्ध बोधस्य किम कृत्यम अवशिष्यते. So now what is happening? He is talking about people like us. महदादि जगद्वैतम नाम मात्र विजृंभितम. नाम मात्र विजृंभितम. So he is talking about the Sankhya philosophy, which is describing the origin of the world. What is the origin of the world? World in Sankhya is known as Prakriti. The nature around us, Sankhya say it is Prakriti. And when Prakriti evolves, when there is evolution of Prakriti, the first principle which comes out of Prakriti is known as Mahad. Mahad Adi Jagat Vaitam. So Mahat is really cosmic intellect. Mahat is cosmic intellect. And we all know as yoga student, first comes Mahat, then comes Ahankara, then comes Pancha Jnanendriyas, Pancha Karmendriyas, and Mana. Then come Pancha Tanmatras, Pancha Mahabhutas. So 24 principles of Prakriti, they are the principles of the whole world. पूरे जगत की 24 तत्व बताए गए हैं सांख्यों में, जो महत से शुरू होते हैं. महत, अहंकार, पंच ज्ञानेन्द्रिय, पंच कर्मेंद्रिय, मन, पंच तन्मात्रा, पंच महाभूत. ये 24 तत्व. और ये 24 तत्व से क्या निर्माण होता है? नाम मात्र विजृंभतम. The world of name and form, the world of variety is created. What is the world? They are actually the names and forms. नाम रूपात्मक जगत ये प्रकृति से निर्माण होता है. महत आदि, महत इत्यादि द्वैत से उत्पन्न. तो ये तो पहले द्वैत है, प्रकृति और पुरुष. That is the reality which is accepted by Sankhyas. That the consciousness, matter and consciousness, they are the eternal principles in Sankhya. तो सांख्य तो द्वैतवादी है और ये दोनों को मानते हैं, पुरुष और प्रकृति के, और ये पुरुष प्रकृति के संयोग से नाम रूपात्मक जगत की उत्पत्ति होती है, ऐसा सांख्य बताते हैं. एंड देन if we have to come out of that prakriti and go to moksha, which they call as kaivalya sthiti in Sankhya philosophy or yoga philosophies, isolation of Purusha from Prakriti. निर्वाण स्थिति, कैवल्य स्थिति क्या है? पुरुष तत्व ने प्रकृति से अलग हो जाना. कैसे अलग हो सकते हैं? That is why Ashtanga Yoga Sadhana has been given. You have to practice Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, and then Pratyahara, Bahiranga Yoga Sadhana, and then Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi, Antaranga Yoga Sadhana. And finally, the Purusha withdraws from Prakriti, gets established in himself. So that is how. तो इसलिए अपना कर्तव्य क्या होता है सांख्यों के अनुसार? To really realize the self and to go for the yogic practices. Now Ashtavakra is actually criticizing this position. What he is saying? Vihaya Shuddha Bodhasya Kim Krutyam Avashishyate. One who has actually attained Atman, because Atman is ever free. That is why Sankhyas actually have not been able to say what is moksha. Because Sankhyas also say that Purusha is ever free. Sankhyas say Purusha is ever free. सांख्य तत्वज्ञान के अनुसार भी जो पुरुष तत्व है वो तो हमेशा मुक्त ही रहता है. तो वो अगर हमेशा मुक्त रहता है तो योग साधना के बाद मुक्ति किसको मिलती है? तो बहुत सारे सांख्य फिर बाद में कहने लगे कि मुक्ति तो फिर प्रकृति को मिलती है, क्योंकि प्रकृति प्रधान प्रकृति हो जाती है. इट गोज बैकवर्ड्स टू प्रतिप्रसव, इट गोज towards the balance of the gunas, and when gunas are in perfect balance, prakriti becomes pradhana prakriti, and that is the end of the whole thing. So prakriti को ही मुक्ति मिलती है, ऐसा भी कुछ मानने वाले सांख्य थे. But then the objection was prakriti is insentient. प्रकृति नॉट सेंटिएंट, प्रकृति तो जड़ है. तो जो जड़ वस्तु है उसको मुक्ति का कैसे, मुक्ति या हाउ कैन इट हैव एनी बॉन्डेज और मुक्ति when it is not sentient principle at all? So really speaking, it is a philosophical problem with Sankhyas, that they have not been able to explain the concept of liberation completely. So anyway, we are not entering into that problem of this thing, but this is what is pointed out by Ashtavakra in this. Vihaya Shuddha Bodhasya. If Shuddha Bodha means having pure consciousness, having the consciousness of the Atman itself. Kim Krutyam Avashishyate. What is that sadhana to be done? Because he is already free. Where is the question of bringing about freedom for the one who is already free? So that is the thing which has been told in this particular Shuddha Chaitanya जो है. So what he is telling is, साधक इस जगत में विधि निषेध का पालन करते हुए आध्यात्मिक मार्ग पर चलता है. दैट इज द कर्तव्य. व्हाट इज द कर्तव्य कर्म? विधि निषेध. That is what Mimamsa has told, that is what yoga has told. Do's and don'ts. You have to follow certain do's and don'ts. विधि निषेध होते हैं. So जो निषेध है, निषिद्ध कर्म है, उसको त्याग करना चाहिए. All पाप कर्म, चोरी, all that is निषिद्ध कर्म. And what is positive action? I should always worship God. I should do all the yogic practices. तो विधि निषेध का पालन करते हुए आध्यात्मिक मार्ग पर चलना चाहिए. ऐसा द्वैत तत्वज्ञान बताता है। लेकिन जो नाम रूपात्मक संसार के परे गया, जिसने ये पाया कि ये नाम रूप ही मिथ्या है, कैसे पाया उसने? आत्मबोधस्य, when he is established in atma, he is clearly seeing that this is really not existing. For a man of knowledge, prakriti is not existing, the nature is not existing, jagan mithya, that is what he realizes. So where is the question of getting freedom? You are already free. So that is what is told. नाम रूप ये भ्रांति है, ये जिसने देख लिया वो अपने आप ही फ्री है. दैट इज व्हाट इज टोल्ड हियर. So I think it is time for us to stop here. We have come up to 70 now. So at this particular juncture, we'll stop here with the prayer. But of course, as usual, comments and observations and questions, we can go ahead with all that after the prayer. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Mritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Tat Sat.